Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Before going to the video, those who are not subscribed our channel, subscribe it and also click the bell button. In this video, we are going to see about radar. Radar stands for radio detection and ranging. Radar uses radio waves, which are high-speed electromagnetic waves, for detecting and finding the location, velocity and direction of both stationary and non-stationary objects. These objects include weather formations, motor vehicles, ships, aircraft, spacecraft and terrain. Radar was developed secretly for military purpose by several nations in the period before and during World War II. Nowadays, radars are used to detect and track aircraft, spacecraft and ships at sea, as well as insects and birds in the atmosphere, measure the speed of automobiles, map the surface of Earth from space, and measure properties of the atmosphere and oceans. In radar systems, the signal to noise ratio can be improved by having high pulse repetition frequency. Next is the block diagram of radar. Radar system consists of transmitting section and receiving section. The transmitter section consists of waveform generator, power amplifier, pulse modulator and duplexer. The waveform generator is usually a magnetron, which generates a radar signal at low power which has to be transmitted into space. The signal generated by waveform generator is fed into power amplifier. The pulse modulator is used to build synchronization between the waveform generator and transmitter. Transmitter is nothing but the power amplifier. The transmitter can be a magnetron, traveling wave tube or a transistor amplifier. Whenever there is need for high average power, then power amplifiers are used. The pulse modulator turn on and turn off the power amplifier according to the input pulses generated by the waveform generator. Next, duplexer. It is used to form isolation between transmitter and receiver section. It uses single antenna for both transmission and reception. The signal from the transmitter, that is the power amplifier, is provided to the antenna through the duplexer. The duplexer short circuits the input of the receiver section. The receiver section consists of low noise radio frequency amplifier, mixer and local oscillator, IF amplifier, 2D detector or demodulator, video amplifier, threshold decision and display. The low noise RF amplifier acts as the input stage for the receiver section. The RF amplifier generates an RF pulse which is proportional to the echo of the transmitted signal. The RF pulse, that is the radio frequency pulse received from the low noise RF amplifier, is converted into an IF pulse, that is intermediate frequency pulse, by using the mixer and local oscillator. The IF pulse generated by the mixer circuit is amplified by the IF amplifier. This acts as a matched filter and it increases the signal to noise ratio of the received signal. The IF amplifier enhances the echo detecting ability of the receiver section by reducing the effects of unwanted signals. The receiver's bandwidth is associated with the bandwidth of IF stage. Next, the 2D detector is a crystal diode that performs demodulation of the signal by separating the transmitted signal from the carrier. The video amplifier unit amplifies the received signal to a level that can be displayed on the screen. The threshold decision unit makes the decision about the existence of the target in space. It has some threshold limit which is compared with the magnitude of the received signal. The display unit shows the final output of the receiver section. PPI, that is planned position indication, is typically used as the radar display unit. It presents the range and location of the object by mapping it in polar coordinates. Next, let us see the working principle of radar. Electromagnetic signal is produced by the transmitter unit in the radar system, and it is radiated in space by using the radar antenna. This wave reflects and re-radiates some of its parts on experiencing a variation in the conductivity of the medium. The variation in the conductivity of the medium is due to the presence of object, either stationary or moving object, and it produces an echo signal. The echo signal is received with the help of receiver antenna, and this antenna extracts the information from the signal and analyze it and find the location of the object. The location of stationary object in the space is determined from the angle pointed by the antenna when the echo received is of maximum amplitude. For a moving object, because of Doppler effect, there will be a shift in the frequency of reflected or re-radiated signal, and this frequency shift will be proportional to the radial velocity of the object. Next, let us see the terminology of radar system. First, range. It is the distance between radar and the target element. Range is given by R is equal to C into T divided by 2. Here, C is the speed of the echo signal, which will be equal to the speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, and T is the time taken for the signal to travel from radar to target and back to radar. Next is pulse repetition time. Radar transmits periodic signal with a series of narrow rectangular shaped pulses. The time interval between the successive clock pulses is called pulse repetition time. Next is the pulse repetition frequency. The frequency at which the radar transmits the signal is called pulse repetition frequency. It is nothing but reciprocal of pulse repetition time. Next, maximum unambiguous range. In radar system, the duration between the two clock pulses should be chosen such that the echo signal corresponding to present clock pulse will be received before the next clock pulse starts. Then we will get the true range of the target, which is called as maximum unambiguous range, and it is given by RUN is equal to C divided by 2 into FPR. Here FPR is the pulse repetition frequency. In terms of pulse repetition time, it is given as RUN is equal to C into TPR divided by 2. Next is minimum range. The shortest range at which radar can first detect the target is called minimum range. It is given by Rmin is equal to C into tau divided by 2. Here tau is the pulse width. Next is the types of radar systems. Based on the number of antennas used, it is divided as monostatic radar system and bistatic radar system. Monostatic radar system uses single antenna for both transmission and reception. Bistatic radar system uses two independent antennas for transmission and reception. Based on the type of electromagnetic wave used, it is classified as continuous wave radar system and pulse radar system. In continuous wave radar system, constant amplitude continuous sine wave in microwave frequency range is transmitted. In pulse radar system, signals transmitted are in the form of short pulses. The table shows the different bands used in radar, their frequency range and maximum peak power that can be transmitted through these bands. Here if you see, P band has the lowest frequency range, that is 0.03 to 0.3 GHz, and then ultra high frequency band 0.3 to 1 GHz, and then L band 1 to 1.5 GHz, S band 1.5 to 3.9 gigahertz, C band 3.9 to 8, X band 8 to 12.5, KU band 12.5 to 18, K band 18 to 26.5, KA band 26.5 to 40, Q band 40 to 60, V band 50 to 75, W band 75 to 110, N band 80 to 170, millimeter band 40 to 300 gigahertz. The maximum peak power for ultra high frequency band is 5 megawatt, for L band 30, for S band 25, C band 15, X band 10, KU band 2, K band 0.6, KA band 0.25, for V band 0.12, and for N band it's 0.01 megawatt. Next is radar range equation. Radar range will be maximum when the received echo signal power is equal to the minimum detectable signal. The maximum radar range, that is the distance beyond which the target cannot be detected, is given by Rmax is equal to 4th root of Pt into G into sigma by Ae divided by 4 pi the whole square into S min. Here G is the transmitting gain, which is given by G is equal to 4 pi into Ae by lambda square. Ae is the effective aperture area, sigma is the radar cross section, Pt is the power of radar transmitter, and S min is the minimum detectable signal, lambda is the wavelength. The amount of energy incident on the target is given by E is equal to Pt into G divided by 4 pi r square. In radar, the gain of transmitting antenna is much higher than gain of receiving antenna. For a pulse radar transmitter, the average power is given by P average is equal to del into P peak. P peak is the peak power and del is the duty cycle. Duty cycle is nothing but T on by T. T on is the on time period and T is the total time period. Next, let us see the previous year's questions. First question, this question was asked in June 2014. Consider the following bands or waves: L band, C band, KU band, KA band. The correct sequence of the ascending order in terms of frequency is, we know that L band has frequency of 1 to 1.5 gigahertz, C band has frequency of 3.9 to 8 gigahertz, KU band has frequency of 12.5 to 18 gigahertz, and KA band has frequency of 26.5 to 40 gigahertz. Hence, option A is correct. Next question. This question was asked in July 2015. The frequency of K band is approximately in the range of option A 4 to 6 gigahertz, option B 8 to 12 gigahertz, option C 12 to 19 gigahertz, option D 18 to 27 gigahertz. We know that the frequency range of K band is 18 to 27 gigahertz. Hence, answer D is correct. Next question. This question was asked in July 2015. Consider the following microwave bands: X band, KU band, V band, Q band. The current sequence of the ascending order in terms of frequency is, we know that X band has the lowest frequency range, then KU band, then Q band and V band. Hence, option D is correct. Next question. This question was asked in December 2015. The ultra high frequency spectrum UHV is defined as 30 to 300 kilohertz, 3 to 30 megahertz, 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. We know that the ultra high frequency spectrum is in the range of 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. Hence, answer C is correct. Next question. This question was asked in December 2015. Consider the following microwave bands: C band, L band, KU band, submillimeter band. The correct sequence of the ascending order in terms of frequency is, we know that L band has the lowest frequency range, then C band, then Ku band and then submillimeter band. Hence answer D is correct. Next question. This question was asked in July 2016. Consider the following microwave bands: W band, P band, Q band and C band. The correct sequence of the ascending order in terms of frequency is. We know that P band has the lowest frequency range, then C band, and after that Q band and then W band. Hence option A is correct. Next question. This question was asked in Jan 2017. Consider the following microwave bands: Ka band, L band, C band, X band. The correct sequence of the descending order in terms of frequency is. Here Ka band has the highest frequency, then X band, then C band and then L band. Hence option B is correct. Next question. This question was asked in November 2017. Arrange the following in terms of theoretical attenuation in ascending order for a distance of 100 feet from the transmitter: Ku band, X band, L band, S band. The correct sequence of attenuation in ascending order is. We know that at higher frequencies attenuation will be more and at lower frequencies attenuation will be less. Hence L band will have lower attenuation and then S band, after that X band and then Ku band. Hence option A is correct. Next question. This question was asked in November 2017. It is match the following type: UHF, that is ultra high frequency. The ultra high frequency range is 300 to 3000 megahertz. Medium frequency range is, that is MF, 300 to 3000 kilohertz. Ka band frequency range is 26 to 40 gigahertz. C band frequency range is 4 to 8 gigahertz. Hence option D is correct. Next question. This question was asked in December 2019. It is also match the following type. First, L band. Frequency range for L band is 1 to 1.5 gigahertz. Next, C band has frequency range of 3.9 to 8 gigahertz. Ka band has frequency range of 26.5 to 40 gigahertz. K band has frequency range of 18 to 26.5 gigahertz. Hence option C is correct.